Meeting. Before the meeting, I'm going to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. The first item on the agenda is citizen input. But we don't have attendance on this, do we? Can we do attendance prior to citizen input, please?
Sure. Helen Vigo,
Here.
Natalie Mello,
Here.
Sergeant Dolan,
Here?
and Officer Tom Faust.
Here.
Okay, all members are present today. Now we'll go to citizen input. Is anybody here that is not on the agenda that just has a topic they wanted to bring up to the traffic board? Okay, there's nobody here for citizen input. However, I'll use this time during citizen input to bring up Atlantic Boulevard that we had tabled from the last meeting.
That was
Okay.
your email.
Yep, from my email at least, in between the members here, I'm basically making a motion that we remove all the no parking signs on the east side of Atlantic Boulevard, and that we place permanent no parking signs on the west side of Atlantic Boulevard, the water side. When I went down there, there were some no parking signs that were on poles, and there were some that were on like wooden horses that almost seemed like they were homemade. So I'd like to make it more permanent, where we have no parking on the west side on poles, so that it looks official, and that we remove the few no parking signs that are on the east side of the street, so that the residents can actually park in front of their house, because there, in my eyes, there's no traffic-related reason why we would restrict parking on Atlantic Boulevard. The last citizen input we had, the tenants mentioned undesirable activities happening there with drug use, lovers, and things like that, and I understand that issue, but putting my traffic board glasses on as opposed to my police glasses, I don't think restricting parking on Atlantic Boulevard is the answer to dealing with nuisance issues like that. It's a public street, it's wide enough to support parking on one side of the street, so I'd like it to go on the next agenda that we follow up on the motion that I'm making, where we, again, just allow no parking on the west side of the street and remove the no parking signs on the east side of the street.
Okay.
So I make a motion that we put that on the next agenda.
Make a motion, because you're doing it as citizen input. So, or you're gonna ask the traffic board to
All right.
put it on the next agenda and mail out letters to the residents to.
Okay, I asked the traffic board, I guess excluding myself, if we can put it on the next agenda for discussion.
Put it on the next agenda.
Helen says put it on the next agenda. Anyone opposed to putting it on the next agenda? Roll call, no? As long as one person wants it?
You can't, it's, you're doing it as citizen input.
Okay,
You're not making
all
a
right.
vote or anything.
But Helen says to put it on the next agenda.
That's fine, she can.
I agree with her, too.
No, it's all good, because you're good, we're good.
Okay, and Helen, you wanted to bring up something, too?
Yes. When you're going up High Street, you come to that curve. It's just, the park is here, then you have that curve.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what you're talking
I think that we need two signs that says no parking in between signs, because when they park there, shoot, you can't make that curve.
It's where the
Very
doctor's office
dangerous.
is, right?
The doctor's office, I think Brad Kobe's office is there
Is
too,
that like
I
near
don't know.
French?
Yeah, so when you're on High and then you split, so you can go to Highland Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
you got that doctor's office there, right across from the school department.
Right.
Oh,
So it goes like this, and then it goes like this. So
Right.
there's cars
Oh,
that
near the
park there
school
all the time.
Right.
So you kinda have to kinda go around. I think we need a no parking here to corner.
Oh,
So I think if we put a no parking here to corner.
That would suffice.
It will stop, so that way, and you'll be able to make that turn.
But you gotta put it before the curve, so that.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll go by that location and
Yep.
check it out.
So it's next to the administration building.
It's
right
not-
there.
Yeah, it's not all the time, like if you go during the day, I usually see it more in the morning, and then when I go home, there's a car
terrible.
always there. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep those in the agenda. Okay.
Okay, that's it for citizen input. Next on the agenda are the approval of the meeting minutes from the September 29th meeting. I make a motion that we approve the minutes that everyone received in their packets from last month's meeting. Anyone care to second that motion?
Second?
Ellen seconds. Anyone opposed to approving the minutes from last month's meeting? Madam Secretary, can you take roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Tom Ferris.
Yes.
Okay, the meeting minutes from the September 29th meeting have been approved. We're gonna go to curb cuts next. I know they're actually more than the handicap applications. The first is 653 King Street. Party's here, here's my notes. You have no driveway right now, correct?
I do have a driveway on Hicks Street.
That's yours?
Yes, it's on the corner.
Okay, and it looks like you have company trucks?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no issue with the neighbors there. They pretty much all have their own off-street parking. It's not a tightly difficult street to find parking on, so by creating a driveway here, he would be taking at least 2 or 3 vehicles off. So I make a motion that, I'm sorry, before I make the motion, let me do what I normally do and read the driveway. The existing driveway for this particular opening is 0 feet. He'd like to remove 34 feet of curbing for a proposed total opening of 34 feet. Resident is requesting to install a 34-foot driveway on the north side of the property to park a camper, trailer, and cars. The city engineer has no objection to this request, and I make a motion that we approve that application.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing that I think we're gonna have to start questioning is, 34 feet is a lot. So by doing 34 feet, you will take away quite a bit of spots. You have to guarantee that those vehicles that you are saying you're gonna put in the driveway, that go into, that go, and that you use the driveway for that purpose. We had a
Yeah, the
public
gentleman,
safety meeting yesterday, and they had 4 curb cuts that were, because what happens is when we hear curb cuts here, it goes to council. They mail letters to all the abutters. So just because we approved it here, doesn't mean that you're all set. You still have to go, it still has to be approved by city council. So if a neighbor disputes this and sends a letter or an email to city council, what they do is they refer it to public safety. You're invited, everybody's invited. So there was a lot of things going on yesterday where people open up driveways, but then they don't always use the cars inside. So it's, you know, the way
Yeah, I've
with
seen it.
neighborhoods or not. I just think that we need to specify that you're gonna open up a driveway, use it correctly, put your vehicles in there to make room for other vehicles, because when you do a 34-foot, you're gonna take some parking away.
that's, yeah, 2
I mean,
parking places.
Right, granted, the vehicles that you had on the street was taking up parking. That's why it's so
Yes.
important to make sure you utilize the
And
driveway.
the 2 vehicles that I'm taking off the street, they over 10,000 pounds, so I'm getting ticket,
Oh, yeah.
daily, for having them parked in the street.
And I
All
have a
right.
question. Noise. 'Cause sometimes when they have a lot of trucks and a lot of driveways, because there's a lot of noise. I know, I experienced it in my neighborhood, that's why I'm saying. Is there gonna be a lot of noise with these trucks and these driveways? Say he's got 3 trucks and two boats.
They're cube trucks, correct?
One is a cube, one is just a pickup.
Yeah, they're not tractor trailers. It's a carpentry construction company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't have a tractor trailer, it was a construction company, and they started up, especially in the winter, they started up early in the morning to warm it up, go back in the house. You know? That's just
Right.
my question.
But whether it's parked on the street or in his driveway,
Was in the
the
driveway,
neighbors are gonna hear it.
yes. But
Okay.
it's not fair to the neighbors.
I make a motion that we approve the curb cut application at 653 King Street.
Motion to approve.
Natalie seconds it. Anyone opposed to that curb cut? Madam Secretary, can you take roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Barry.
Yes, follow the rules.
Well, and I think,
Okay,
I'll
it's
be
been
there.
approved.
and I think maybe that's one of the criteria that we should talk about before we do curb cuts, that even though we're approving it here, because one of the applicants went ahead and did the.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're the first step.
Right, so this is only the first step. It really needs the approval from city council, and then you get a letter that you can go ahead and do everything, so.
Okay, I'll add that to my speech.
So in other words, you're saying not to do it now until they go in
Well,
front of the
let them know
city
that this is
council?
only the first step.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you can go ahead and start,
Right.
All right, sir, your curb cut is past the traffic board meeting.
All right,
Next step is city council.
no problem.
You're all set.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda is 1235 Newhall Street. They're not present, they don't have to be.
Motion table.
No.
They don't have to be for
They
a
don't
curb
have
cut.
to be for a curb cut.
Because it's approved
As
by
long
the
as the letter
engineer.
is approving.
Okay, 1235 Newhall Street, the total existing opening is 16 feet. They're asking to remove 7 feet 4 inches of curbing for a new opening of 23 feet 4 inches. A resident is requesting to expand the existing driveway to take 3 cars off the street. This is to the west side of the property and on the south side of Newhall Street. There are no parking issues. The consulting city engineer has no objections to this request. This particular residence is all the way down Newhall. It may be the last property before you get to the Watuppa Pond. No neighbors park on the street normally anyway, so all he's doing is widening the driveway. I saw no issue with that, and I make a motion that we approve this request. Anyone care to second that motion?
Second.
Natalie seconds. Anyone opposed to that? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo? Helen?
Yes.
Natalie?
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan?
Yes.
And Officer Barry.
Yes.
Okay, 1235 Newhall Street has been approved. Next is a curb cut request for 28 Charlotte Street, I'm sorry, 26 Charlotte Street.
Well,
Oh, yeah, there's two numbers.
That's not the
That's all
same one
right,
as
it's
yesterday, no?
one house with 2 addresses on
Because
it.
he was at Patello too.
No.
No, okay.
Okay, they're not present, again, they don't have
It's
to be.
26, it's not 28, you're right.
Well, it's one house with 2 addresses. It's a front to back, probably like a 6-family house.
Right, but we're probably, if his address is 26, and they're gonna have to change that sheet upstairs to go downstairs.
Well, it
correct.
says curb removal at 26 Charlotte, the owner
It
lives at 28.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay.
Existing opening is 11 feet 6 inches. The existing curbing to be removed is 11 feet. So the total new driveway would be 22 feet 6 inches. The existing driveway, resident is requesting removal of another 11 feet, 5 feet to the south side of the existing opening, and 6 feet to the north side for a total of 22 feet 6 inches. Consulting city engineer has no objections. Again, Charlotte Street is virtually all single-family homes. They all have driveways. This will not create any neighborhood parking issues. So I make a motion that we approve this request.
Motion to approve.
Natalie seconds the motion. Anyone opposed to this? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Vigo,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Barry.
Yes.
Okay, 26 Charlotte Street passes. Next is 26 Kilburn Street, 40 years auto sales. It's a corner lot, Globe and Kilburn. The existing opening is 129 feet 3 inches. They're requesting to add 29 feet of driveway space for a total opening of 158 feet 3 inches. This is an automobile sales and repair business with driveways as follows. Globe Street, 32 feet in front of the building. Kilburn Street, one of them is 81 feet 6 inches. The second is 15 feet 7 inches. They'd like to remove 29 feet south of the new addition to be built on Kilburn Street, which is the removal of 17 feet and 12 feet next to the telephone pole. So again, the total would be 158 feet 3 inches at this business. The city engineer has no objections to this request. Again, I went by there, the business takes up that whole corner, so there aren't any houses that are affected by it. There's just, it's old, like the curbing was never removed even though they're using the lot. They've been using it all along, so I make a motion that we approve the curb cut for 26 Kilburn Street. Anyone care to second? Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Barris.
Yes.
Okay, 26 Kilburn Street passes. You're all set. You're welcome. Everyone who had the curb cuts approved, you're free to leave if you'd like. We're moving on to the handicap parking requests. First is 57 Sunset Hill. That corner over there. Sir, is this the, because 57 is almost in the middle, is this the Pokro Street side you're looking for? Or Charles Street?
No, Bay Street,
Bay Street?
yeah.
Oh, so he lives closer to Bay Street? Because it
My house
does
is
Bowen.
second line,
You're the second row, though.
the second line, yeah, from Bay Street. Bay Street is bad.
Yeah, he's in the
Bay.
second row.
Because it's Bay, Pokros, Bowen, and Charles.
Right. His apartment is almost right in the middle between Bay and Charles, and it's one row up from Bay.
Maybe it's closer for him for Bay than Pokros.
No, I don't mind. Is that what you're looking for, is a spot on Bay Street?
Yeah.
That's a little different.
And this is Pokros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives on a row here,
Well, it's tough to see it.
and
He lives almost in the middle of the second row up.
from Bay.
Yes.
You know you have to walk to Bay Street,
Yeah.
and you're okay with all that walking?
Yeah.
Is he understanding
Is
this?
it closer the other way?
It's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. His apartment is right in the middle of that row,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's the second row up from Bay Street. So he's right in the middle of Sunset Hill almost.
What's closer for you to walk?
So,
Do you understand the question, sir? Where is it closer for you to walk?
For you to park your car. Where is it closer for you to park your car?
on Bay Street,
On
You want Bay Street?
yeah.
If we have the space.
Yeah, you don't have I have quite a bit on Pokros.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I thought this was
I'm gonna be,
Pokros.
I'm gonna be going through those anyway. I have a few on Charles, I have 2 on Bowen. I think I only have 1 on Bay, to be honest with you.
All right. I make a motion that we approve a parking space on Bay Street for the resident at 57 Sunset Hill. Anyone care to second that?
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to it? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Barris.
Yes.
57 Sunset Hill is approved. You're all set, sir. Oh, wait, let me give you the speech for all the other applicants, too. 2 speeches, 1 from me. If you get a handicap parking space approved for your residents, on occasion, especially if you live near a store or a restaurant, somebody with a proper handicap placard may park in your spot. It's not actually assigned to you. We're putting it there for your convenience, but on occasion, if somebody gets a visitor and they happen to have a handicap placard, and they park there and they have a placard in there hanging from their mirror, That's legal. There's nothing the police will do about that. It's not your spot. So if you see a car in your spot with a handicap placard, there's no need to call the police about it. Just have to park your car somewhere else until they leave, and then you can put it back in the spot. Okay? And explain to them the process now.
Officer, how about the person is blind, she can't walk, and somebody park on your space? What are you gonna do, leave the car in the middle of the road, bring her home, up the second floor?
Well, he's saying,
I'm gonna leave the car in the
So
middle of the
double
road,
park
bring
the
her
car.
up the second floor, because she's blind.
Yes,
And she had heart surgery, she had 2 strokes. She
yes.
can't walk, she had to walk from the gateway into the car.
Is that do you have an application here today?
Yeah, I've been, a lot of people have been parking there. Well, I don't have, that was on Lapton Street, now I moved. That's why I'm here to put the signs up on
right.
Pine Street.
We can discuss that when we get to your application, sir.
the other matter is, so when you apply for a handicap spot, traffic department is your first step, it gets approved here. Then the maintenance crew will go out, they'll do the measurements, you'll see them marking the 2 spots. Those measurements have to go into ordinance, so it goes to city council. So by the time it's heard at city council and it goes into ordinance, it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, okay? Hopefully they'll go up before winter.
Okay. Next is 928 Pine Street. My first question to you, sir, is have you updated your address with the registry?
Okay, yeah.
Have you updated your address with the registry? I still have you with Lapham Street as an address.
Yeah, right now, I'm at Pine Street, I moved 2 weeks ago.
Did you change your address with the registry?
The previous address,
Now, did you change your, your license?
my ID, yeah,
Yeah, did you change to the new address yet?
all right.
You have to change that to your new address.
I didn't change the license yet, because I called the registry, they make an appointment.
Okay,
Okay, but that's what, you have
I
to change
changed,
your
I went
address.
to the post office, I went to all the other places, but I came to you.
when you get your new registration with your new address, bring it to us, we'll make a copy of it,
All right,
okay?
okay.
So he hasn't lived there for 21 years on Pine Street, right?
No,
Less than 1 year is what that means.
oh, see, less than 1 year.
Oh,
Right
okay.
there.
You got it, Sarge.
Yeah. Okay, so you have to update your address with the registry, sir.
Please?
He's got an appointment already.
Make sure you update it and change it and give her the paperwork with your new
Okay.
address on it.
All right,
Other than that, there is no driveway available to the tenant, the landlord does not allow.
That's a driveway? No way.
No, that car's abandoned in there, it's an old junk. There's no driveway available to the tenant, so I make a motion that we approve the handicap parking for 928 Pine Street. Anyone care to second that motion?
Second.
Natalie seconded, anyone opposed to that one? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
You got it. Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Barrett.
Yes.
Okay, now, sir, that's been approved. If you have somebody blind in your car,
my wife, she's blind,
okay,
and she had 2 strokes. She
okay,
had heart surgery. She had to go to the doctor 3 times a week.
all right, you're more than welcome to double park to bring a blind person into their house.
Yeah,
The chances are slim that somebody's gonna be parked in your spot with a handicap placard.
yeah, because I had a lot of problem when I was in Lapin Street.
Yeah.
School, a lot of people park their cars there, they go into school. And I'm waiting, and then there comes the cops, I gotta move.
Yeah, there's
I gotta
no,
bring her in the house because she's blind, she can't.
there's no school at 928 Pine Street, luckily. Okay, so the handicap spot has been approved, sir. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Next is 469 Osborne Street. It was tabled from the last meeting.
Yes. Same thing.
Have you changed your address with the registry?
No, I just realized that. I have to do that for her.
You can actually do it online.
Okay.
You don't even have to go to the registry.
Oh, that'll be great.
So when you do that, bring the paperwork, bring just the registration or the license to the traffic department up here at City Hall. so that they have proof that you changed your address,
Will
okay?
that- Will that delay the
No.
6 to 8? Okay, good.
No. There's no driveway available.
No.
I make a motion that we approve the handicap parking for 469 Osborne Street.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Natalie has seconded, Helen has thirded,
Oh,
and is anyone opposed to the handicap parking at 469 Osborne? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
yes.
Natalie Mello,
yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Fryers.
Yes.
Fryers.
Okay, 469 Osborne Street has been approved, you're all set.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just the facts.
Next is 7 Smith Street, woman's right here. Okay, I have you listed as the homeowner for that property.
I'm all set.
Yes, sir.
For casa.
And that house has a driveway,
No. That driveway next, on the side of the garage is not mine. We know the 17th Street. There, I own a small garage.
yeah, you have a, all right, so I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
but my car not fixed there,
It doesn't fit there.
yeah.
Okay. Well, sometimes I'm the bad guy. If you own the house and there's a driveway and a garage, the traffic board does not approve a off-street, I'm sorry, a street handicap parking space. I understand that you're saying your car doesn't fit there and the driveway's small. And in this situation, it is a small driveway, but we don't approve it if you have a garage and a driveway.
No, I don't have a driveway. The driveway is not mine.
The garage is
garage
yours, right?
is-
The garage is.
And there's a curb cut in
Yeah.
order to pull into the garage there. So we don't approve, if you own the house and you have a garage, despite the fact that your garage is small, in order for us to maintain consistency, I'm gonna make a motion that we do not approve this because you have that garage. And I realize the garage is visibly small,
Yeah.
but I've never approved on-street handicap parking for somebody that has a garage. So I'm gonna make a motion that it be denied.
Deny. A motion to deny?
Okay, Helen seconds the motion to deny. Anyone wish to approve this application?
No, due to the garage, we can't allow it.
We treat it black and white.
Everybody's gotta be the same, treated across the board.
Okay, so there's a motion to deny and it's been seconded. No one's requesting an approval of the motion. Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Sure. Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie
Mellow?
I said deny.
Yes.
Deny.
Sergeant Dolan. It's a motion to deny, Helen.
Yes, sir.
Just say deny then.
Deny.
Deny it.
Sergeant
Sergeant
Dolan,
Dolan.
deny.
Officer Farris.
Deny.
Okay, ma'am, it's been denied.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next on the agenda is 33 Quikasham Street.
No?
Okay, 33 Quikasham Street, this is the second time it was tabled already. I make a motion that it be denied.
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone care to approve it? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Deny.
Natalie Mello,
Denied.
Sergeant Dolan,
Deny?
and Officer Farris.
Deny.
Okay, 33 Quikasham Street has
Sounds like
been
it gets
denied
closer.
because it's come to the board twice and the party has not been present. Next is 38 Peck Street.
That's me.
Okay. 38 Peck Street, there is no off-street parking available for the tenant. While the paperwork's in order, I make a motion that we approve it.
The homeowner.
No.
But there's no driveway or nothing.
Yeah, there's,
Oh,
no, there is. There is no driveway or garage. It's just one of those houses without them.
so even though she's a homeowner, Helen, but there's no garage, no driveway.
Okay, the motion has been made to approve this.
Second the approval.
Officer Farris seconds the approval. Anyone care to deny it? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rico,
And approve.
Natalie Miller,
Approved.
Sergeant Dolan,
Approve?
and Officer Farias.
Approve.
It's in the water.
Okay, the handicap spot's been approved,
Thank you,
ma'am.
guys.
You're welcome. Okay, that's it for curb cuts.
Okay.
Leah Pont did send an email, she could not be here today. So I don't know if you guys want to table it for next month.
Well, I don't think she has to be present for this.
Okay.
I'm going to read and paraphrase a letter received from a Lisa Point.
Leah?
No, it's Lisa on the, you're right. The email address is Lisa. All right, Leah Point. Pont.
It's interesting.
Okay, requesting no parking signs with camera surveillance on Bishop Street, where Bishop comes in from Hancock Street. The street has had a problem with park and rides, drug drop-offs, lovers parking having sex under the streetlight, and we have had to constantly contact Fall River Police to take care of it. The issue needs to be addressed and corrected. In addition, Norman Street is very narrow. There should be no parking allowed directly across from an open driveway. It creates havoc when large vehicles have to exit and enter the driveway. Norman Street has become an extremely busy thoroughfare over the past 20 years, and residents do not abide by the four-way stop sign on the intersection of Norman and Bishop. Therefore, by living in that area, it is necessary to back in one's driveway to avoid a possible collision. However, if the neighbor across the street is parked directly across from an open driveway, it makes it difficult and next to impossible, especially if that neighbor has a large vehicle/truck. I am asking the traffic board to review these issues as soon as possible, not only on Norman Street, but all narrow streets in the city. Thank you, Leah Pont. So,
Has anybody checked this out?
as a matter of fact, we have, Ellen.
Just asking.
I know that one of the, because she did call and I asked her to put an email to be put here. They're also asking for litter signs, which I'm having them made right now. As soon as they're all set, they're gonna get 2 down at the bottom, because.
For littering?
Well, they've been throwing for dumping, indigo dumpers, so they've been doing that. So they'll
Good.
get 2 signs
Yep.
that has the ordinance with the fee and everything on it. So that's in the works, so.
All right, my input on this, coincidentally, this situation is exactly what was brought up on Atlantic Boulevard last meeting. It's a public street. We're wearing police uniforms, however, this is the traffic board, and the issues she brings up are legal issues, but they're not traffic issues. Norman Street is a public street with room to park cars. So, but we can't restrict parking on Norman Street because the people that park there are doing undesirable behavior. So I don't wanna restrict parking on Norman Street. It's semi-rural for Fall River. It's not a busy street compared to most of our other streets. Parking is not an issue here. The behavior of the people that do park there or stand there is the issue. And the street is wide enough to keep parking on both sides. There's bushes there, but I don't even think the bushes encroach on the street much. But Officer Farris did pull up calls there. Do you have any information
I
on
did,
that?
I pulled up every call for Norman Street, and I could not find one instance of a suspicious circumstance. There was a call about a car that was parked there it was occupied. The person had explained, and again, it was a refused complainant, so the person had explained to the dispatch that the person had been in the car all morning. This call had come in at about 7:30 and it was cleared at about 8:30, stating the person had been there all morning. I don't think an hour was all morning. They may have been waiting for somebody. When the police got there about a minute and a half later, They cleared the call, there was nobody in the car was properly registered and insured and properly parked. So there was no issue there. I could not find any other instances of suspicious circumstance, lewd or lascivious behavior going on in vehicles, or any drug issues or anything like that.
So what they need to do is call the police when they see activity going on, so
Right.
they can have proof of this issue.
Right. Again, I know we're police officers, but
Right.
I'm doing this from the traffic board point of view. Granted, we can have police officers go by, but that's the police issue.
Right.
So I don't think that restricting any parking on
It's gonna make a difference.
Norman Street is the answer to the alleged poor behavior. Does anybody else have any input on that letter
I
we
agree.
received?
People need to call the police to have documentation.
Yes, and that's maybe a public safety thing, but not a
Right.
traffic thing. They mentioned camera surveillance. Again, that's not traffic, and that's not something we would do anyway.
So basically, just putting up the signs for the
Littering.
illegal dumping.
Correct.
I mean, if there's any calls of cars, if we get any calls of vehicles that have been there for 2, 3, 4 days, if it's registered and it's insured and it's legally parked, we don't do anything either. We're not gonna be
No.
tagging people just because, you know, it could be someone that's leaving their car there because they're picking up someone. There's so many different
I've
scenarios.
had a car sitting on Naplewood for a year in the
Right.
same place, same spot, unless there's a flat tire, from what I understand, then it can be towed away. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's what I've been told before.
No, I mean, there's a few ordinances that you're supposed to move your car within a
Correct.
certain amount of time, and if somebody calls, we'll most certainly go and check it.
Right.
Make sure it's insured,
And that,
and it's
right.
registered, and it's properly parked, but I mean, are we gonna be in the business of if someone, you know, if I park my car at your house and we take a vacation together, are we
Right.
gonna be in that business of,
Right.
Well, and that's, you know, and these are coming in front of the traffic board because we are getting a lot of phone calls with issues that, I mean, I can do so much, but then there's just other things that you need to come and you need to discuss the problems that you have in your neighborhood, the
Right.
speeding, the parking. I mean, I can put up the 25-mile-per-hour signs, I can do slow signs, but
Right.
I can't
Yeah,
solve
this
it.
is not.
Right, solve it
right.
for you. But you're absolutely right, we get a lot of calls, oh, this car's been here for 2 months, but you can't just tow it because of that, because it could be someone
Right.
that left their car there that doesn't need the car, is related or whatever. Usually, you know, we'll look up the plate number, if it's somebody that's from out of town, we'll keep an eye on the car.
Right.
And then if it doesn't move or anything like that, then we'll tow it, but a lot of times, you know, they carpool. So,
And it's a public street.
and it's a public
Right
street.
now, I have a truck in front of my house with a trailer, 3 weeks. Across the street, he's got another truck with a trailer, 2 weeks. Now he's got a box truck parked on Niagara Street. Can't do nothing about it.
if it's legally registered and insured.
In the meantime, the people that live there have no place to park, but yet he doesn't park it in front of his house.
Okay, so I make a motion that this matter be tabled unless the resident, you know, wants to attend the
Right.
meeting and further discuss it with us.
What I do with these is they stay in the folder for the particular meeting. So if they come up like 2 months from now, I'll go to the folder, pull it up and,
Yep.
okay?
Anyone care to second the motion?
Second,
Alan seconds. Anyone opposed to tabling this? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rico,
yes, thank you.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Barros.
Yes.
Okay, that matter's tabled. And the last miscellaneous item on the agenda is a letter from a resident of Wellington Street.
Well, he called yesterday, and I said it would be important for him to come, or a couple of the residents to come, and discuss, you know, what they've been going through. I think one of the biggest problems, and I think I spoke to you about it, Sergeant Dolan, is it's in the afternoon. Parents pick up the kids in the back parking lot of St. Michael's School. So they don't open the gate until 2 o'clock. So, of course, parents get there early and they start lining up on the street. So if someone wants to leave that elderly complex that's at the bottom, they have to toot their horn. So that's the issue that they're coming across. They find that the cars are not there for 3 hours, but they stop lining up.
Right.
Their thing is they should open up the gate and have somebody park them away from when the kids come out to just free up the street for whoever needs to get out of their driveways to be able to. But sometimes they're stuck and they're waiting 15.
It's like
and
every
then-
other school, same
But they're
thing.
but it's very narrow. They're very concerned with the elderly apartments that they have down there, that if an ambulance
Is
or.
that the Essex Street down there? Essex Street?
Yeah,
Williams
that's
Homes
the other one.
Apartments?
No, this is another complex.
This is the dead end that would feed into the back of St. Michael's School,
The right turn just before.
coming
exit
off of
Essex?
St. Mary's
Right.
Street,
Right. So
Right.
the first right.
Right.
St.
Yes.
Mary's
before you get to
Essex.
Essex, yep.
Right.
Yeah, when you go to the bottom on your right, there's
Right.
there's a name for that place, but I don't know the name.
Now, whose parking lot is that?
What parking lot?
That's there on that dead-end street that goes into St. Michael's?
That belongs to St. Michael's.
But
Is
they
that
have a
whole
gate-
parking lot
the
there
gate's
that's
closed.
gated?
It's where they
Yeah.
have the feasts.
Yeah, but there's also, there's that complex there, or
Yeah,
that house, with
that's-
that building.
Well,
So there's a
that's
big,
theirs.
huge,
But that belongs to
That belongs
them.
to the building,
right,
to that
Okay.
residence. A lot of the issues brought up, I can't even read this, but a lot of the issues brought up, again, are just individuals that are not obeying the laws, if they want to block a
yeah,
driveway
it's
or
the
whatever.
same.
The traffic board, there's nothing traffic-wise we can do here. However, we can reach out to the principal of St. Michael's School and see if he'll open the gates before 2 o'clock, which would get rid of the glut of cars that want to park on Wellington Street, because they can pull into the parking lot.
That's gonna be a problem too.
No.
Because, you know, kids, they're gonna be concerned, and it's, you have to turn in the schoolyard,
Well,
right?
the cars, no,
Well, the
the
cars
cars
do
pull
go
in
in.
there
Oh, okay.
at
But
release
they-
time.
Yeah, they don't let the cars in until 2 o'clock. So,
Well, maybe just make them aware of complainants come in and see if they can,
Yeah, I mean,
Find a
I've been,
resolution as
I'll call
well.
the principal, we discussed it, but I wanted to be on the agenda first.
Yeah.
I'll call the principal and see if he's even aware of this complaint.
well,
Right.
I spoke to him, because it's not just this gentleman, there was a lady that called as well. And the problem is, you know, you've had a long day at work, you're frustrated, you
I
get
get it, yeah.
home, there's cars, you can't get into your house, you blow your car, which is only normal. But when I spoke to him, he says that there's a gentleman who oversees that parking lot. He opens the gate, he lines up all the cars. He says it's a matter of 15, 20 minutes the most.
Right.
He has no control of the parents that get there early and
Sure.
start lining up.
Right.
So he is aware of the complaints.
All right, but I'll talk to him and see if he can open it up sooner, and this way all the cars are off of Wellington. If there's a parking issue, of course, the tenants, I mean, the residents of that street are welcome to call the police department, and it'll be investigated by the police. But this is another example where the traffic board doesn't have a solution to this, because, I mean, what are we
People-
gonna do?
Well, we do.
No
I mean, we're
outside
gonna
parking
speak-
in
well,
school
we're gonna-
hours.
I mean, we're gonna speak to the principal, you know, I mean, I can give him another call and see if he can make some changes. That's the best that we can do.
Right, what I'm saying is we can't put more signs there, or
Oh, no.
there's nothing
Unless they-
traffic-wise to do
Unless they get
there.
tagged, so they can learn.
Right, and that's a matter
Yeah,
of
but-
calling the police or the
Right.
traffic
Right, but then you go
officers.
down there, what are you gonna tag them for? They're in the middle of the road.
Oh, they're middle of the
Double
road, they're
park.
not on driveways.
They're not parked.
Oh,
They're just all lined up,
Waiting.
ready
I
to
see.
go into that gate.
I see.
It's so weird because towards the end, on your left, you have like 3 or 4 parking spots. So there's no home there at the end. So,
Right.
but then you've got that entrance to that facility.
Right.
right.
So I make a motion that we table this matter till the next meeting, and I will speak to the principal of St. Michael's School and see if we can come up with a solution. It's been seconded. Anyone opposed? Madam Secretary, can you do a roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes?
And Officer Arias.
Yes.
Okay, that matter's been tabled. Next on the agenda is rescinding handicap spots. Request from the traffic department to have the following handicap spaces rescinded due to individuals no longer utilizing the space. because they have either moved, no longer drive, or have passed away. South Main Street, Third Street, Fountain Street, Whipple Street, and Pittman Street. I make a motion that we remove these handicap spots. Anyone care to second it?
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to removing them? Madam Secretary, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Fowler.
Yes.
Okay, remove those signs. Anything else? I make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
And I second it.
Helen seconds, and anyone opposed? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
Officer Fowler.
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.